But first, 1 year after the adoption of a global plan on dementia by the World Health Organization, I'm joined by Paola Barbarino, CEO of Alzheimer's Disease International. Paola, lovely to have you here. In that 1 year, can you tell me how worldwide reaction to the disease has changed?
Thank you, Duncan. Yes, it's been quite interesting to see the 12 months after the plan. It took so long to get there, and to an extent probably I would have expected a swifter response from many countries to having undersigned this very important document. And yet 1 year later actually very little has happened. With the exception of one plan, the Chilean plan, not much else has come to fruition. And so this is why, in a way, it's even more important and key to have this program here now. We need more and more people to add their voices to the fact that governments do need to take action around the issue of dementia, and they aren't.
So how are civil society and voluntary organisations, including ADI, trying to make a difference?
Civil society are incredibly important in the discourse on dementia. Many organizations effectively cover a huge amount of ground that governments are not covering. For example, they may provide services, they may provide support groups, they may incentivize or run dementia-friendly initiatives. Some of them focus on fundraising for research, some of them foster or encourage research to happen. This is a difficult area. Quite a lot needs to be done in order to even encourage researchers to get into the profession. If you think about the fact that for so many years we have not had any disease-modifying treatment, it's hard even to incentivize the young generation to get in this area, and yet it's so interesting and so promising.
Multinational organisations are also playing their part. Can you just tell us how important that collaboration is?
Essentially, we are not going to end up with any solution unless we all work together. And actually, every single organisation, multinational, national, regional, has its part and can play its role. Some of the multilateral organizations like the World Health Organization, like the United Nations, like the OECD, have an incredibly important role to play. They have a lot more individuals within their ranks with incredible pools of expertise, and they can call upon governments to do direct action in a way that civil society can call for, but doesn't necessarily have the mandate to carry forward. So for us to have a constant and continuous dialogue with those organizations is absolutely essential.
Now, Paola, we have seen the importance of research, but also that not enough research is being done, particularly in low and middle income countries. What can be done to change that, do you think?
It's a massive issue. Effectively, the vast majority of research this day and age is focused in Europe, in North America, and to an extent in Australia. The latest project we are working on focuses on the healthcare system in great details of countries like Kenya, like South Africa, Brazil, India, Indonesia, in an attempt to provide an analysis and then answers that may help the local government to reach some positive conclusion about how can they change the healthcare system for the better, for the hope of people with dementia and their families. So for us, strengthening the healthcare system to be realistic about what a country can achieve so that people can find the better answers is where we want them to be.
So I think we can sum up our conversation as lots of great work has been done, but lots of challenges ahead. So let me close by asking you, what are the challenges, what are the goals for your organisation, ADI?
For me, there is three things that are really on top of my mind when I wake up in the morning and I think, there's so much work to do. Well, first of all, we have been handed in a fantastic opportunity with the Global Action Plan for Dementia. All the countries in the WHO signed up for it. So now it's really in our hand, in our preserve, to work together with as many multilateral organizations and governments to make that happen. And as we know, that hasn't quite happened yet. So our role there is to continue to remind everybody that we need to do something. This is just not going to happen by itself. The second thing is around awareness and stigma. It's so important for us to continue to have the role that we are having, for example, today, to continue to explain dementia. It's a complex disease, and stigma often arises when there is ignorance, when people don't understand what is going on. We would like dementia to have the same development than cancer had or HIV/AIDS, where now people don't feel there is a stigma around the disease any longer and they're happy to talk about it. But in so many countries, this is still a big issue. And in doing that, the third objective for us is to continue to help our members. We have now 90 members, and there are so many more countries where we know there are no support groups, there is no mechanism for people to help each other. ADI and our members are here to help. We want people to know that we are very willing to do everything possibly in our power to help as many people as possible to reach information and support and be together when it will come to take on governments in order to make sure that there is a happy and better life for people with dementia and their families.
Important messages to get out there. Paola Barbarino, we thank you very much.
Thank you, Duncan.